check out this waterfall. I thought it'd be cool to record it from that fallen tree. I had thought about sticking a ucho and this little knot, but I don't think I will today because it's pretty wet. I'll have to come back another time to try that. I think it'd be pretty cool. But there's nothing stopping me from setting it just right here. There's a little bit of a groove there. Definitely should have brought the Joby, but I did bring the geophone. I'm not sure if this is going to be too subtle or too much for the geophone because it is pretty darn sensitive. But there's only one way to find out. That'll work. I would never drill a hole in a live tree. This one's been fallen and hanging out on top of this waterfall for a long time. Nice. Alright, here's my setup. I got the geophone and the basic ucho hooked up, and I'm just gonna stay sitting right here and try to be really quiet since this is pretty precarious. Time to go home and maybe we can make some music with these sounds. Alright, so I'm looking at these recordings. This is the ucho, which is just sitting on the tree, and it sounds really nice. The little birds in there, but overall we're seeing pretty even spread as frequencies, which is what I would expect. I personally find this to be way more palatable than white noise. You can see tiny bits of almost maybe patterns. I don't know if that's too generous, but it's nice to think about that. The geophone was very surprising. It's pretty clear that there's all these resonant frequencies, like around 250 hertz. There's just these little bands. And I don't know if that has to do with the frequency response of the geophone, but especially that one at 250 seems very pronounced to me. The only documented resonant frequency on the geophone is 14 hertz. So I'm not an expert with the geophone. I haven't used it a ton yet. It's very possible that this is just the frequency response of the geophone. I think it's a little more exciting to entertain the idea that these are resonant frequencies of the tree or the waterfall. But let's roll with that just for the sake of inspiration. So what I did is I combined the geophone and the ucho into this one stereo recording where we have one on the left side and the other on the right. I did some EQ on each to kind of balance it out in a way that felt palatable yet distinct to me, and then I automated some crossfading. And then with the stereo sum, I added these resonant peaks that I thought matched up with those resonant frequencies that we're going to pretend are from the tree. And then I threw that into a sampler, of course, and it sounds really nice. So the tone, or the pitch, is coming from those resonant frequencies from the EQ, and or maybe the tree itself. But all the water is a really lovely noise layer. And I think with the panning, mixing like that, it kind of feels like the water's like rushing past you maybe. So I put together this little beat and bass line to go with it. interest of keeping this waterfall sample from sounding too static or too constant, I put leader gator on it, and I'm using modulation to push and pull the left and right channels in opposite directions, so there's some subtle pitch drifting happening. I'm also using shave and fade, and again using modulation on the spikes preset. With each of these little spikes, there's just a dropout in a different way with a high pass, low pass, or gain. It's kind of less 2-ish, but more sparse.